Hey guys, so let's get some freelance bookkeeper advice. So why it's so hard for corporate finance people and corporate accountants to start a bookkeeping business. So my name is Bryce, if you don't know, if you haven't seen any videos on the channel. So I have a six-figure bookkeeping and CFO business, and I make these videos to make sure that people can avoid a lot of the mistakes that I've made along the way and hopefully find success a little bit faster than what it took for me to go and do it. So why is it so hard? Most people, when you're in a higher level of finance and accounting, especially in corporate America, the skill sets that you're developing are generally not really in alignment with the skill sets that are required for running a business. So oftentimes, let me give you an example. So when I first started my business, me and my business partner, she was very, very good at organizing and administrative stuff, right? And like she would always be like organizing, clean up our workspace, clean up with making like spreadsheets, everything that it takes to steer a business and keep the business already successful, working, running, and growing, right? I almost compare it to being like that person steers the ship, right? Versus what you need to start a business is something that pushes and propels the business forward. So like someone who pushes down on the gas pedal, right? You need the gas pedal. Now, most people who are in like finance and accounting, they are generally steering people. They like to steer it. They like to make sure that the boat is going. Okay, so we're looking at the mast. We're looking at the ship. Are there any boards that are sticking out of place? Are there any leaks? Are there any holes inside the ship, right? But that doesn't really do very good if the boat is still on the dock and hasn't even gotten to the water yet, right? So it's like you have to start developing skill sets that are more designed to like boost that pedal, right? So what are some skill sets like that? It's sales, it's marketing, it is learning how to communicate, okay? I cannot tell you the number of people who are not amazing at communication, okay? For example, there are certain times when you speak and you say certain phrases that will cause the other person you're talking to actually gain low levels of either irritation, frustration, or friction. So for example, I was on a call the other day, like a consultation call with someone who's like, they're from like a bookkeeping background and they're trying to start their bookkeeping business. Every 5 words she was saying was like I said. And I was like, because like, so the first 3 times she said it, I was like, did I ask a redundant question? Like, I think that's the first time you said this. What do you mean, like you said? And just like, she just kept saying that. It ended up being her filler word. But if you're talking to someone who's not very trained in like, very interpersonal communication, that is a phrase that can set people off and feel almost like you are insulting their intelligence, right? And there's always like these little micro phrases. Like there's like you language versus like we language. There's a lot of things that you have to like understand when you are communicating with people, that if you don't have this, it can actually cause you to lose sales. So for example, if I was going to be buying, let's say I was a business owner and I have like $1 million per year like painting company, and she was talking to me and she kept saying like I said, like I said, like I said, she probably would have lost the sale because I was getting irritated, and like I'm trained not to get irritated when I talk to people. But it's just like the more she kept saying it, the more it's like I'm not asking redundant questions. Why do you keep saying that? Right? And it's just like you have to start learning and honing like what are your words. A better way to say it would be like pause and then say what you're going to say. Pause and then say what you're going to say. Oh, that was the thing. She was actually in HR. She was in human resources, right? So she did like she had learned bookkeeping on the side, but her thing was in human resources. Like, how can you be a human resources person and you don't know how to deal with humans? Side tangent. But that's the main thing, okay? So it's all about being a gas pedal. And, it's a really tough kind of pill to swallow, especially because, like, a lot of people who are, like, in finance and like, maybe corporate accounting, they say things like, I have business experience. I understand the numbers of business. Yeah, you understand the numbers, you understand like business, but that's not the most important part in the startup phase. The most important part in the startup phase is marketing and sales. Getting in front of qualified potential clients, and then getting qualified potential clients to want to sign up with you. That's all you need to do, okay? That is all you need to do. Now, there are some different things like what to charge them, how big of a client should you go after, what should be like your industries that you like targeting, and I kind of stay away from like choosing your niche in the beginning. When you're first getting started, I like choosing like 3 or 4 different target markets you can go after, and then once you start working with those 3 to 4 types of target markets, then you can start niching down a little bit further once you actually know who you like, right? Because sometimes what happens is like maybe you say, like most people, they'll go after a niche where they think the most money's at, right? So do something like cannabis or do something like e-commerce, right, or construction. But they get inside. Let's say they start working with a construction company and they hate talking to construction owners because maybe the construction owners do a lot more cursing in some cases, maybe a little bit more crass, maybe a little bit more direct. They are rude in some cases to certain people, right? It just depends on your temperament and how you like talking to people, right? And just like how you get along with them, right? So they maybe niche down in construction. They spent like 6 months trying to get their first construction client. They ignored every single other person or every single other industry, and now they figure out they don't even like construction. And then it's like, oh, now I have to go choose the next niche. No, just get 3 to 4 niches. So construction, we'll say another one, right? That way, when you start getting the construction clients, you've also gotten like, we'll say like a nonprofit, or you also got a painting company, or you also got a solar company. Then from those 4, you can say, okay, cool. I like the painting company. I like the solar companies. I don't like the nonprofit. I don't like the construction. Okay, we're not going to do those industries anymore. But now we have 2. Okay, so cool. So let's add 2 more, right? And then pretty soon we start seeing what we like. Okay, cool. So now we keep liking the solar and the painter. Okay, so now we're going to focus mainly on solar and painter. Okay, cool. Now we like solar, but it's like 50-50. Sometimes you get you just don't like the accounting, you just don't like the companies, you don't like what they stand for. Okay, cool. Let's go after painters. Then you go straight into the painters, and then you expand even faster because now you have your niche, right? But it started with more of a hypothetical, like scientific method approach, right? Where it's like you're making a hypothesis, you're testing this hypothesis, and then you're able to keep going further and further once you're there. Okay? But it all starts with knowing, like, number one, like, where are you going? What skill sets do you have? And understanding that, like, maybe the skill set you have right now is not the skill set that you need in order to grow your business. And again, it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's like the sooner you can swallow the pill, the easier it is to understand, like, okay, I just have to learn some new skills. Because the skills you have now might be good to actually do the accounting and bookkeeping work, yes, but you're never going to have anyone to work with if you don't go out and get the people, right? So that's the biggest skill set. As soon as you can go and get that, you're going to be able to go and grow your business. So for example, like one of my students, Eileen, so when she came inside of the mentorship program, she was a director of finance for a company for a pretty good amount of time. And she just knew off the bat, like, hey, I'm not very good at marketing because she'd been trying to get clients. She'd been like going to networking events. She'd been like doing like flyers and stuff in the mail, and it just wasn't really working, right? So we had to go and work with her and make sure she understood like marketing. Like, what is a qualified lead in your particular case? How should you go and approach them? What should you say to them? How should you get them interested in your service? How should you get them interested in you and working with you and choosing you over any other bookkeeper, any other accountant that's out there? And then from there, we gave her some consultation scripts so she knew exactly the time of the consultation call. So she's actually talking to them. She just sounded way more influential and way more like calm and collected than maybe what she was, because like she was kind of nervous. She was like an introvert, right? So it was a little bit kind of overwhelming on some of those calls because she was very nervous. But since she had a script and she had a place that she was going, she could sound very professional. It made it very easy for her to ask the right questions that then got the business owner to like her. And then once the business owner started liking her and she could feel the business owner liked her, then she was able to relax and start closing the deals more consistently. She actually made it to 6 figures. I believe it took her to collect over 100,000. It took her, I think, about like 13-ish months. So like the first milestone we always have people go to is like, 10K per month. Because if you get to 10K per month, you just maintain your clientele, maybe grow it a little bit, you're automatically going to collect 6 figures in cash. Like it's literally inevitable. It's just a matter of time. So that's the biggest thing. It's just like learn those new skill sets and then just being able to go and grow the business correctly. So having that strategy, having that KPI, having that structure to make sure you knew exactly what to say at all points at all times, how to price out your work, and making sure that you're ready to start taking on clients. So that's the main reason why it's so hard for a lot of corporate finance and corporate accountants to really start a bookkeeping business. As soon as you learn those 2 skill sets, that's really what you need to go and grow. Now, you can get that skill set at a base level and like still hit 6 figures. You can get it in more of an intermediate and advanced levels and hit 6 figures. So it's not like you have to have that much like skill set. It's just you need to start putting in the work and start learning those other skill sets, or at least partnering and aligning with someone who can already give you a shortcut so you don't have to learn all of that stuff from like scratch. So if you want some help, if you want to avoid a lot of the mistakes I've made along the way, growing my business to six figures, go ahead and click on the link inside the description, either above or below the video. Book a call with myself or one of my team members to see if it will be a good fit for you to work inside of our paid mentorship program. Right now, we only accept about 10 people per month because we like to keep the number pretty low, mainly so that we can support the students more thoroughly inside of the program, right? I've noticed that, whenever you try and get a lot of people in, the support level goes down. That's just not really why I started my business. I want to be able to support someone fully so you can actually go and reach that six-figure level on a very consistent basis. So if you want to see if it's a good fit, if you want to see if you qualify for our help, and if we think we can actually move you forward in the best period of time as possible, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below. Book a call with myself or my team member, see if we can help you out, and I'll see you on the other side. Have a good one. Take it easy.